All right, so welcome and please find a comfortable posture. This comfortable posture, just making sure it's like, yeah, I could hang out here. I could be quiet here. I could do nothing here. We're in the context of this group, we're in this context of our weekly sitting session. So we can always tell a story of what we're doing. You know, I'm going to my meditation group. Right? And you can pretty much do this to anything. You can have a narrative for anything. Describe what you're doing, what the body's doing. Oh, I just sit. But in this time, we're giving ourselves the opportunity to really do nothing and to understand that we're effectively always doing nothing. So you didn't go to sitting practice. You didn't go for a walk today, run your errands, whatever it was. You were doing nothing then too. It felt like something. There was a sense of doership, but there was never any doership going on. That was just a sense of it. And what we endeavor when we sit here is to realize the sense of doership is not real. Sense of doership is fictional. And we don't have to keep that story going. To the best of our ability, we're going to do nothing in hopes that we can ascertain and understand. We're always doing nothing. Even when it feels like we're doing it. Even when there's a sense of doership. And we can't say it's the body that's doing nothing then. Because even though you're sitting still, quiet, the body's not doing nothing. It's sitting still. It's still breathing, heart still beating, hopefully. So we don't mean the body when we say we're doing nothing. There's no choice. Do nothing, do something. When I'm moving about, making myself dinner, that's doing something. When I'm sitting quietly, that's doing nothing. That's dualistic. That's just more what you've already got. With maybe a little bit of wellness, right? I sit for wellness. I sit to de-stress. Sure. But really, doing nothing has more time involved. Doing nothing is all the time. Doing nothing is beyond time. Doing nothing is a realization that you are not the body and thoughts. That you are something, you are a thing that isn't acting, isn't doing. You are a thing that is existing. As a matter of fact, you are the thing that is existing. It never does this or that. It never does chopping vegetables. It never does sitting quietly. It's always doing nothing. It's always existing. This is the knowledge. This is what we seek to know, to understand. This knowledge is quite freeing. To know that you can't do or not do. It's like Shakespeare, to be or not to be. That is not the question. It's to pretend to be a doer or to realize you're just existing. That's the question. Pretend to be a doer or realize you're just existing. Always. Even though the body is still, and there may be some discomfort with sitting still, don't worry about that. There may be thoughts trailing around, floating in and out. All that doing, don't worry about that. Begin to realize, begin to use enough presence to seek beyond that doership. Because the idea of not doing inside a world of a body and thought is so far off the mark. Because the idea of not doing inside a world of I've got a body that can sit still, I've got thoughts that I could turn off. It's just not the real thing we're talking about. It might feel great. But it's not the knowing of being beyond your body, beyond your thoughts, as pure existence. It's like having a fake houseplant or a real houseplant. The real houseplant's going to clean the air. Fake houseplant's not. It looks like the real thing, but it's in no way the real thing. Thinking you're doing nothing isn't just existing. And so when you sit still, maybe we listen to your breath, whatever it may be, you're just getting enough energy to truly seek a realization that there is something beyond body action and thought making. It's like you can't really drive your car that well if you're texting. If you really want to drive well and safely, you should stop texting. If you really want to seek this knowing of pure existence, stop texting. Put down the worries and whims of thought reactions, bodily sensations. That's the texting in the metaphor. And really concentrate on driving. Driving is knowing that you are pure existence. You should feel very confident knowing that you're pure existence, even though you might be a seeker. You don't admitting to yourself there's some suffering, you're admitting to yourself there's some confusion, and you're spiritually seeking. That's fine. But it should be completely obvious, right from step one, which none of you are at step one, but even from step one, it should be completely obvious. You exist. You don't know what that existence is, perhaps, but we know there's existence. This is something. And let's just start there today. Let's all be beginners again. I don't know what I am. I don't know if I'm the body or the thoughts or awareness, witness content, who knows? Ego, I don't know. God, Brahman, who knows? Tao. But there's existence. Even if this is a dream, I call this life a dream. There must be a dreamer. Then we'll call that the existence. If the dream is made up, whatever the dream is being projected from, that's the existence. I exist. Maybe you're not even willing to take on that responsibility yet, that I am the existence. Maybe I'm just a character in the dream of what really exists. Okay, fine. Let's go with that then. Just existence. Just beingness. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it smells like or sounds like. All these colors, all these sounds, all these sensations, things I can touch, they come and go. But there is something that is steadily here, receiving it, knowing it inaccurately, knowing it accurately. So get what we're doing here right now? while we're sitting, we're trying to strip away all the colorings, getting to the raw essence of the matter, something that is inexplicably, undeniably true. Overtly, in your face, real. We're just trying to get in touch with that. Take some time to know that. It's not easy because it's so overt. It's so in plain sight. We overlook it. It's like air, metaphorically. When you've not had air, whew, you are really, really into air. But air, for the most part, is so readily available to us, we start to ignore it, right? This extremely essential thing to the survival of your body, we can just write off. I can drive, I can text, I can yell at the road raging driver next to me. I'm not even worried about the air at that moment, ignoring it. But if you've ever been denied air, maybe underwater or something like that, you know, oh boy, it's extremely important. It's essential. You can really learn how to appreciate air again because it can be taken away. But pure existence, I don't know how they take that away. You can't take it away. Everything we know is dependent on existence. And existence is always there. And so we can take it for granted. We can forget about it. Just like air, it can sometimes be helpful to remember how important air is before you get denied air. It's just nice to spend some time with breath. Develop some appreciation. The same thing goes for existence. It's just nice to be, just to be here. Before we forget about being and get all into the doing. You're becoming familiar. You're becoming intimate with beingness. You don't need any aids. So your breath, it knows pure existence. Your body knows pure existence. Even your thoughts know about existence, they just tell you about doing. Plants and the animals, they understand pure existence as well. Even rocks. Rocks understand pure existence. It's obvious. This is obvious. Long before you, maybe even before me, before we have this sense of me, of I, almost as soon as we say I, me, you, and the rest come along with it. And if you're careful, if you're considerate, if you've got enough gumption, you can witness that. You can witness pure existence, the obvious underlying nature of reality, blatantly in your face. Here it is. You can watch I, me, mine, you, and the rest of it burst onto the scene. And then go, 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 go. All we're doing, all we're saying is, you don't need it. You might be better without it. All the things you want, crave, yearn for in the I, me, mine, you, and the rest of it, you might already have it. All that peace and freedom already here as pure existence. That's what you're seeking. That's what you're deciding to discern for yourself beyond the fanciful words that I'm offering is your knowledge of things. You are trying to make certain in your knowledge of things. Is existence good enough? Do I understand it even? Do I know? Beyond I, me, mine, you, and the rest of it. Every time you feel your power, your agency gets swept up, I gotta do my meditation practice. I gotta figure it out. I gotta stop my thoughts. gotta concentrate on my breath. All of that. Just dualistic notions of not doing. Accept the obvious. Here and now exists. Just start at step one. There's a sweetness to it, kindness, a gentleness, deep humility, an utter lack of ambition. You're not going to grow into it. You're not going to graduate, not going to accomplish. Pure existence is as it is. And it's enough already. See if you can be enough already. Where'd you end up? Think about something you got to do? Some way to get better? It's okay. You didn't leave. You didn't disappear. You were still existing. You were still existing, undisturbed. See if you can realize that. Even though you were in some story, some fiction about what to do, how to be different, something was staying the same. Something was unequivocally, very much still being. It's like when I tell you to breathe, but you're already breathing. Exist. You're already existing. But when I say breathe, you become conscious of your breath. When I say exist, do you become conscious of your existence? No. Most people don't have any idea what I'm talking about. They start thinking about their body, about their thoughts again. Exist. Become conscious of your existence. Let's do better. Let's take out the word your. Become conscious of existence. Try to look for the undisturbed existence. Untouchable, unharmable, ever shining, ever present. It really can't even be obscured. You just sort of forget about it. Like you forget about your air that you're breathing. It doesn't go away. But it's easier to feel the air because, goodness, sometimes it goes away. So it's easy to find when I talk about it, mention it. Your existence never goes away. Beingness, always apparent. It's pretty reliable, don't you think? Always there. We've been talking about the body likes to move around. The thoughts like to think up stories. And we've avoided the something very essential, which is the heart likes to yearn. If the body would just rest at ease if the mind left it alone. And the mind would get quiet if the thoughts were quiet. The thoughts only become quiet when the heart no longer yearns. The heart, the core of your being, the essence of your nature, it just yearns. And the mind says, oh, I know. You're yearning for fill in the blank. More security, more companionship, better companionship, more safety, more responsibility, recognition. Then I'll feel whole. Then I'll feel complete. The mind's doing the best it can. But the heart's true yearning doesn't have any answers in the mind. The heart yearns to be at ease with itself. To be good enough. But the body could always be healthier, prettier, The thoughts could always be cleaner, that's for sure. You could always have more money. And so when the heart's yearning reaches out into the mind, never end. It'll never end. So you have to look elsewhere. You have to look not at the finish line, not at the roadmap of the race. You have to look behind the starting line. About face. So the heart can go, oh, what I've been yearning for is right here, right now. Always with me. You can relax. Welcome to sign up from the call if you'd like to stay in your practice. or we'll do questions.